Dream.
Hi, welcome to the stream.
That's true.
My name is Fila, and today we're playing a little game called Pathfinder.
You forgot what we were
Mon, do you
playing
want
for
to
a
take it
moment.
away with the intro?
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not going to do that at
Well,
all. You've gone and started it. Come on, finish it then.
hello, adventurers, and welcome to the wonderful world of PATHCO. Now, last week, we were in a great conflict along with the, Titanus Bat Boy and our good friend Pate's fucking other adventuring party. So they burst out of the ground, and then we, split up for a bit and searched for clues, and then we found some sort of
Almost
demon
immediately
tumor
regretted that.
thing. We almost immediately regretted splitting the
We
party,
regretted it within
despite
about
the fact that we had
10
like
squares.
12 people, like easily 2 minutes. And I think that's about it. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, that's basically it. We're done
God,
fighting things now, though. We did it.
my throat immediately hurts.
hmm
Yeah. You gonna DM at any point then, Mon, or?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Well, I think
No,
we finished the fight, but we hadn't done any like searching around or anything like that. So it was just the last thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
that
because
sounds
it
about
ran
right.
on for like 2.5 hours. So yeah.
hmm
And I was very sleepy.
Mm.
Okay, so you guys are in this particular room of the old city ruins, um, and from what you can see, well, from what you can see without any rolls, this looks like sort of a catacomb slash little chapel thing that has been sort of collapsed. Um, and you find this big old, well, blob thing that you have killed. Um, this
Helpfully
big sort
labelled.
of, yes, the what the fuck is this? Um, and it's very big, and it seems like, upon a closer look, um, that it is sitting in like a sort of big bowl, if you will, and that there are some alchemical supplies and stuff scattered next to it. And it seems that the more you look around, the more you can discern that there are alcoves with some beakers and like a little distillation tower, and um, that sort of junk. Um, for any deeper search, I'm gonna want, well, maybe a perception, maybe anything else that you guys can convince me of if you are looking for any kind of loot here, or perhaps for something else. I don't know.
Could I roll a knowledge religion for information about what these nuns, etc., might have been doing, if it has any wider significance?
Certainly, go ahead.
I'll do that thing. Shall I deign to roll a knowledge today, or shall I just take my 10 and be done with it? No, I'll roll it. Ah, I lost out.
Oh well. 17 is not bad. Um, you can tell that this chapel seems to be dedicated to the same thing that you saw some symbols of before. Namely, sort of this.
I definitely remember what that is.
Yes, I'll go over it. Don't
Was
worry.
it Hagenti?
Yes,
Hey,
that's
I
the
already
one.
remember.
Um, you do remember. It's this sort of creature with two human bodies, one male and one female, each with one horn of what makes together like sort of bull horns, and they have a like three pairs of wings which are folded in front of them, obscuring their appearance. Um, and you know that that's the demon lord of alchemy, right strain. And from what you could tell here, it looks like there has definitely been some alchemy going on, and uh, this big heap of demon pulp seems to be the result of some of that alchemy that has been going on, since you can see that the bowl that it has been sitting in is sort of full of residue of like ammonia and sort of acidic stuff and all kinds of reagents.
Do I know what it was meant to do? Or could I sort of assume it was meant to be able to transform like the smaller demon tumors did, but it just never quite got the energy?
That is a
macerated it.
reasonable assumption that you can make without a roll, but if you want any more details of, or if you want to mull this over, I'm gonna need a spellcraft.
I could say to the others, and I know this is some kind of alchemical thing that they were doing, something Hargenti related. Does anyone know what it was like actually meant to do? Pals, my good buddies.
I'm almost 100% sure this isn't Thyra's.
Well, I was more
usual
thinking
favourite
I don't know,
choice.
any of Pate's crew, but
Yes,
Oh,
I'm sorry,
I
Dave.
might-
I'm incredibly stupid.
yeah.
Hang
I
on,
was
Sigmund,
about
let's
to
put
say,
our heads together.
Oh, am I still the smartest person? Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah,
Oh, you do know. Good job.
oh, nice.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Thyra
Hang
has
on.
maths flying around in front of her face.
Yeah, it's that
Wait
one.
a minute.
It's that one
Hang
meme
on.
of that blonde woman who's
Yeah.
looking at equations.
She,
I don't have spellcraft. I'm just going to roll a dice to see what happens.
Yeah, Thyra's
Do
still
it.
there.
Do it.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Wow.
not
It doesn't
bad.
count for it. It doesn't. I don't have spellcraft, so I can't actually.
Oh, right. Okay.
Thyra has a notepad out, and she sort of does a rough sketch of the alchemical setup, and then she realizes that if you sort of abstract it out a little bit, that it actually spells out the words "this can be used to summon a demon," just like it's in wacky font, almost
Yeah,
like
it's
you know how the Pixar lamp is used to replace the eye. It's like that. Except
It's
with
like
alchemy.
that one. It's like that one scene in the second Harry Potter movie where Tom Riddle makes his name spell
Oh,
out
yeah.
"I am Lord Voldemort."
It's almost exactly like that. Thyra finds Voldemort.
Nice.
Oh no.
Sigmund with like a 17, even though you don't have it, I think that you like vaguely recall as you were doing your time in the Midland army that you've run across like an enclave of troglodytes of the cult of Zevgavizeb, like trying something like this and having clearly failed and blown themselves up.
Ooh.
So this is sort of like, this does remind you of that, but you don't know what it is exactly. And Thyra, you in fact do know what this stuff is. Yes, all that was left behind was Bethesda skeletons.
They were just furiously ragdolling still, halfway clipped into the ground.
Well, you remember a rib
What a way to
cage
go.
when you used to
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
That was hurt.
And Thyra, you know from some of the teachings from your church, and mainly from like you've spoken to some alchemists about some stuff that you've had to do in the past, and I don't know, where do you think that you might have learned about something demon and alchemy related?
Heretics.
Yes.
Yes. Find them.
Okay.
Yeah, Thyra took a first-year optional course called Heretics and How to Find Them, which sort of talked about, demonic iconography, what the strange guy in the corner of the pub is probably up to, heretics of all kinds, really, blasphemies, all sorts of stuff like that.
And obviously, it went really well because she then immediately formed a party with Napoleon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Thyra got a C.
I mean, to be fair, he doesn't actively worship Orcus. In fact, that's rather the opposite. He wants to be the one being worshipped.
He did start a cult at one time.
Yeah, that was a cult for himself, though.
That's true.
It wasn't worshipping anything
No,
other
then
than
that
him.
means that
Because it
if
means you're a
anything,
false
I think
idol.
that may be more
you're not
heresy.
worshipping a demon.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's still kind of a dick, though.
it definitely falls under idolatry.
Yeah.
in any case, from Heretics and How to Find Them, you remember that demons are in fact
Very nasty.
created, or they come to exist when souls react with the sort of ambient environment of the abyss, which is the plane where souls go to become demons. And a characteristic of the more sort of academic demonic cults, such as Hegenti, such as Abraxas, who you fought in the Sunset Pillar Club adventure in B Team,
We didn't though.
have
Pete, the Demon Lord. He's one of the bad ones. Scott.
And you know that what is like a common practice among Hegenti worshippers is to simulate the ambient environment of the abyss alchemically, and then try to sacrifice a soul and catch it in said receptacle to try and create a demon on the material plane, rather than need to have the soul go all the way to the abyss and then somehow return.
Oh, is that what this meat column was supposed to be?
Yes, indeed. So you can tell that what they've been trying to do here is to create demons upon the material plane, which is one of the ways to not have to use the extreme amount of energy of having to teleport them all the way from the abyss to here. Which
Hang
is
on, guys. Look,
these
if you look at their equipment, it spells out we were trying to create a demon on the mortal plane instead of in the abyss.
It does.
See? And she turns around her notepad.
Yeah, you're looking at like a diary, and it says exactly that on like the last entry.
Fucking did it.
Very
You're
glad
welcome.
that they didn't do that. More demons is really not what we need right now.
I mean, I feel like we're already at kind of capacity.
We're already
To be
knee deep
honest.
in demons.
Like, you know, experience before this was one half of a demon. I feel like
No, we fought that one guy.
that one... We fought a demon?
Michaels.
What, where?
Yeah, Michaels. We killed him. He almost killed Sigmund. That was cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, before, like, 3 days ago, Dave, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. We're working our way up. We did 0.5, we've done 1, and now we're going to do 2. That's a good point. There is some progression here. Glanvar, me and Sigmund have both given it a shot. Do you want to see what you can learn about this?
You're good at finding things. Can you see some secret stuff?
In Glanvar's level of expertise.
Yeah, you might be able to see some gold lying around though.
Why did you just refer to yourself in the third person?
Maybe you just Glanvar, Thyra.
What am I rolling, sorry?
Well, what do you feel like rolling?
That was more like a goof. You don't have to roll if you don't want to. It just amused me that somehow Thyra passed this, and then Sigmund gave it a try.
Okay, fine.
You can do whatever you want. If you want to roll something, that's fine.
No,
If you
I
don't,
don't really have... Glanvar doesn't really have anything he could roll.
okay. I mean, we've not had a straight perception yet, so
Yeah.
you could do that.
No one's actually looked for loot in a very uncharacteristic
shit.
fashion.
Was that what we were supposed to be doing? Crap.
I'll go hunting for loot.
I mean, okay, that's fair.
I mean, that was the thinking, I think, but then...
Eagle Eye Power,
What's
34. There we
Yep.
are.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, you definitely find loot. Yeah.
Sick.
Could you roll me 2 D100s, please?
Yep.
Okay, that's 70.
Okay, 61.
Do you have a loot table loaded up?
Yes, I do. And 61. Okay. So the first thing that you find is sort of a weird ornate box, and it has an inscription on it, which any of you can read if you know. What language would that be in? Probably
Spanish.
Abyssal. Yeah.
Nope.
Any of you, do you have Spanish as your language?
No.
Just plain old Spanish. No. So it has some like runic inscriptions, and what and a few notes that you find accompanied with it spell out something along the lines of, God damn it, like, Isolda has been throwing stuff all across the room lately. I cannot believe how clumsy that woman is. We've had to buy this to try and cope with it. I bloody hope this works, because this was all of my savings. And you can try and identify the item that is inside this box, which looks sort of like a silver-colored cube. If you have an appraise or anything else that you might convince me of.
Can I give spellcraft a go?
Well, we're assuming that Glanvar is showing this stuff off.
That's a good point.
Are you, Glanvar?
Are you
keeping
Glanvar?
Personally, Glanvar can't believe it's not butter.
I can't believe it's not butter.
He can't. He's stood awestruck.
Is that a yes? Is that a no?
Glanvar is showing it to people. He
Mm.
can't read it for a start, so he's going to show it to someone.
Yeah, you can definitely roll spellcraft for this.
I thought you said a praise. Which one is it?
Normally, like, I always give the option of a roll that is always valid, but you can try to convince me of other ones.
Yeah, I'll go spellcraft.
And
I'll roll
spellcraft
praise,
sounds
'cause I'm-
solid. All right.
Oh dear.
Ugh.
Because I'm a dwarf.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. We found something Glanvar's not good at.
Yeah. So it
And
seems.
apparently Dave's not good at it either.
Hang
No,
on, if I make that charcoal rubbing off the side of this cube, it says its exact magical purpose.
Yes. So Dave, what do you think this is?
Oh god.
With a critical failure.
Critical failure. Oh no. What would that mean for Dave?
It looks like a silver cube.
I don't know.
Maybe
Shit, I
maybe
must have
Dave. Yeah, maybe Dave is convinced that it is butter. While
It is butter,
it's
you're
very
right.
yes.
Fancy
One
butter.
Tells
Fancy
only
people
truth,
eat.
the other says only lies.
Very fancy butter.
Religious butter.
Glanvar, you do not know anything else than the fact that it is not, in fact, butter. And Thyra, you know that what you're dealing with here is this.
A box. Oh no, he's never mind. He's posted something.
Yes. It is, in fact, an arrow magnet. And what it does is, if you activate it, then for the next 5 rounds, it will attract any projectiles that pass through its adjacent squares.
Wow, that's hella cool. Sometimes Pathfinder is actually quite a cool game.
Yeah, it's neat sometimes what Pathfinder can come up with.
It's not got a
It's-
huge radius, but
It doesn't
No,
have a huge radius, and it only has, I think, hardness is like a C for objects, isn't it?
something like that. Yeah, but it's weird.
It can essentially take 13 points of damage.
Mhm.
that's pretty
Yeah.
decent.
It's a damage soak. I mean, for
Oh no, it's not actually.
300
The hardness is a damage reduction.
Oh, is it?
Damage reduction. Oh wow,
Oh, okay. That's actually
Yeah, I
kind
mean,
of sweet then.
that's pretty fucking solid.
Yeah, but
Ah.
only 5 hit points. So yeah.
Hmm.
So you
Yeah,
can-
but,
so
like-
yeah, that
But
makes
like
Unless you're
anything that's
unless you're doing the old 1-2, 8 points of damage is a pretty solid.
barrier, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so you have that,
guys.
and
This thing eats arrows.
Who gets shot at the most?
Glanvar, I feel like you're normally at distance. Do you want this arrow magnet?
If it means I can collect more arrows.
Yeah,
Make
I
sure
mean,
you-
free
just
shit.
make
There
sure
you go.
you don't shoot past it because it'll suck up your arrows as well.
That's a good point.
Should we be sharing this with the others? What are the others doing?
I think that the others, like Bat Boy, has probably shrunken down to his normal size right
Normal
now.
huge size rather than huge size.
His normal huge size, yes.
Big boy.
Big boy. I think Hugh is eating the Cambion.
Got
Paint.
confused about who was who between Hugh and Paint for a second there and was really grossed out.
Yeah, I mean, he is from the dim north. There's no telling what he'll do.
Yes.
No. Bat Boy, I think, is just sort of chilling with Liesel, who is trying to sort of patch him up a bit as he has been wounded pretty seriously this last fight. And Pate and Hilda are also looking around. Pate, it looks like, is collecting anything that he can tell might be valuable. So you can see him Skyrim hoarder style, just stuffing anything that's made of like a somewhat shiny metal into his bags.
Where do you think he got that wheel of cheese from down here?
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I've been carrying this for what, like two adventures? Shit. And what else you find, Glanvar, is what looks like a long box made of old wood, and when you open it, you can tell that there is inside a long
Horse.
sort of rod made of a pale white wood. It's like a sort of a white palish branch, and it is inscribed with runes in a language that you do not immediately recognize. Glanvar, unless you can roll me something for it, which you may, of course. When you pick it up, it doesn't really seem to do anything. But you can always pass it around to see if you can maybe
Can I try and appraise
recognize
it?
what it is. Absolutely. Okay. Sigmund, you are very confused as to why they would be keeping a stick in a box like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not Sigmund, Glanvar.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was wondering why Sigmund was confused too.
Sigmund's always confused.
Oh, right, that's Glanvar, sorry. Yeah, that's Broglan, of course. Is very confused as to why they would be keeping a stick in a box like
I
this.
know.
Oh, do you
I
want an
know I
appraise
don't
for
roll
me?
low
Oh, you
very
can.
often, but still.
You can do this
That's fair.
appraise untrained, so I can.
Oh, really? Yeah. Sigmund, like you've known about people keeping cool sticks in boxes. Like you've had a collection of what have you had a collection of as a kid?
Beyblades.
Hot Wheels.
God, I remember those days.
It's these tiny summoning cards.
Oh lord.
Very nice.
Okay.
They
So
were
yeah,
magical,
you
and you had to gather them actually.
you can definitely relate to people like collecting stuff that is dear to them in boxes, even though it might not seem very very valuable. Dave, you have a better idea of what this is because I don't know. Does Dave
'Cause I'm not an idiot.
speak Draconic?
He does.
Sorry, not Draconic. Infernal is what I'm looking
No.
for.
Oh, you got me excited for a moment there. No, I do not speak
Oh.
Infernal.
I'm sorry, Dave. No, I was looking for Infernal. But I think that with Dave's generally high knowledge, you would recognize it as
Smart boy.
Infernal. And with an appraise of 15, I think that this was something that was among the many, many, many items that Tilda had on her walls and in her like cabinets and stuff like
She had
that.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. And what this is it's this. It's an Archon's torch. However, it's not an Archon's torch. It's a Devil's torch. And it does the same thing, except that it applies to lawful evil instead of lawful good.
Oh. Is anyone here evil?
Is anyone here for lawful good? Because Dave is not.
No, it's because it's only for lawful evil characters.
Oh, so is this not an Archon's torch? It's like a reverse of an Archon's torch.
It's like a yeah.
Yeah, it's a Devil's torch.
Oh, sorry, I misheard. Okay, let's sell this, I guess.
So you have that. And that
who's
is
taking it?
what
Shall
you
I take it?
immediately find of value.
Yeah, did we agree that Glambar was going to take the aero magnet? Peg, do you want that?
The magnet.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, I'll take it.
cool.
who's taking the Devil's
Okay.
Torch?
Neat.
And you're taking the Devil's Torch.
Sure, I'll sell it for money.
I mean, from what looking at it, it doesn't actually. It only activates when I throw it away from myself for a bit. So it's
Yes, it's a one-time use thing.
The
The arrow magnet.
no, it's not one-time use.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. It's true. But it does have hit points. You're right.
Yeah, so it
it's
get
touched by a
destroyed if it.
creature.
Hmm.
What's it if it's touched by a creature? I assume that's the also includes the person that threw it.
Yeah, but then it just gets deactivated.
Oh no, it is.
Oh no, it
destroyed.
is actually
To the
destroyed.
ground, it's destroyed.
Okay,
Oh,
so
well.
basically what it is, I throw it out in front of me. If it gets hit and the arrow does more than 5 damage with a hardness of 8, so it does
8.
more than 13
Yes.
points of damage in one roll, it's
Yes.
destroyed.
Yes.
Yeah. You do have to be careful,
cool.
though, of
You don't
course,
have to
because
use
this applies to any to any projectile, not just projectiles that are not yours.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You could use it as like some moving cover though, which is kind of fun. So
Mhm.
Arrows,
like-
shuriken, vials, bullets, yada yada yada.
ooh, useful that it
Offense.
applies to vials. That's kind of fun.
We don't find ourselves throwing too many.
No.
No, but if we're fighting like kooky alchemists or what have you,
It can happen.
Mhm. Indeed. Okay, so that is what you find here.
Well,
Very good. I've got a cunning plan.
oh boy.
Let's
Thyra
go.
marks one off on her daily bingo card.
Let's go and kill the Pope.
Oh, I forgot that's what we're doing here. Yeah,
that's-
good
that's
idea,
not-
Sigmund.
That's not your plan. That's the plan that we all had. Apart from these guys, but it's their plan now.
Someone
Right.
looks very depleted.
I mean, it's
I
still a
thought
good
it
idea.
was good, Sigmund.
I'm sure you were part of the plan making process. I can't remember.
I think that Pate is going to cut in at this point and say, well, we do kind of want to continue with our tunneling plan. However,
What were you doing with that again? I've forgotten.
well, basically, ever since we got in this city's neighborhood, we've been tunneling towards the estate of the viceroy himself, the leader of the city. But it has proven a bit more difficult than we thought without divination spells. So we ended up here. But I think if you're right and this is underneath the cathedral, then I think, given our maps, we can probably now figure out where we're supposed to go.
Oh, so you're not on
So
board
I
with helping us kill the Pope? We'll come and help you
Well-
kill the Viceroy. We were going to get around to that as well at some point.
That's actually a good point. If you want to head over that way, could you let us know if you do get to the Viceroy's, biz?
And then we can
We
come help.
definitely will. We definitely will. We're stronger as a big team. What we could do, because of course, getting this Pope fellow out of the way
Dash their
would
bishop.
be very helpful too. Here's my proposition. I propose that Hilda and Batboy go back to the tunnel since they're our best tunnelers, and they continue making it. Whereas I and Liesel will go and help you kill the Pope. How does
And
that
you.
sound?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds fair enough.
Sigmund, are you going to
Yeah.
be okay to be parted from Beast Boy? Bat Boy, so soon?
Bat Boy, Beast Boy, your favorite member of the Teen Titans.
No, actually.
Sigmund just gives a big fist bump to Batboy and goes,
Right.
"It's okay. Each of the parties has got a tank. We should know what we should be able to handle."
That's right. And I think that at that point, Batboy and Hilda are going to make their way back to the tunnel and descend into it again.
Bye. Everyone waves.
And Pate is gonna lean towards you and say, and so this Pope fella, he's a demon as well. You
Yeah,
say?
we're pretty sure. We're not 100% sure, but like I'd say at least a solid 95.
I'm running on the assumption that everyone's sort of higher level than like a manager in this city is probably a demon. Yes.
Ah, shit. Okay. Well, hey, Hugh, and he calls for Hugh, and he says, "You go dig along the tunnel. Go, boy." And Hugh is gonna go along as well,
Bye, Hugh.
and help dig the
I miss
tunnel.
you.
So they are going to dig the tunnel.
Are Wolverines good at digging?
Sorry?
Are Wolverines
I
good
don't
at
know.
digging?
Well, I think they probably are.
They've got like I'm pretty sure they're a burrowing animal, aren't they?
I don't,
Yeah, I think
I don't
so.
actually know anything about real life. I need to tell them.
I tried
actually know
googling.
anything.
I tried
But
googling a
you-
Wolverine,
you
and
just
Wolverine
got
came up.
Go Wolverine.
Yeah, probably.
It's funny how that kind of thing happens.
Funny
It's funny
that.
how two things with the same name result in the same. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. I mean, Hugh's great and all, but in a fight against a demon, like, I'd honestly rather keep him out of that because I honestly don't like my chances with it, or at least I don't like his.
No, I get it. I'll go left toast behind. She doesn't like being underground.
Okay, well, what way should we continue then? There's this way you could go, or there's that way.
Okay, from browsing the Wikipedia article for a Wolverine, I don't believe that they dig tunnels.
Oh, right.
There's
okay.
nothing. There's nothing in there about them digging tunnels. So I'm going to assume that
They
they don't.
probably don't.
I mean, so it's kind of north or northeast-ish.
Mhm.
This one looks like a way to go.
Where's this one?
Sure,
That one?
the wider one.
Yeah.
Or the one that gets wider.
Alright, should we all kind of go towards there?
Stop being upside
Yeah.
down, Thara. There we go. Thank you.
Thyra gets off her handstand and
So,
gets moving.
so much for it getting wider because it actually
Oh.
gets a little wider and then narrows down again.
We all get really hopeful, and I was like, oh.
Classic
And you're
twirling
faced
logic
with a
segment.
classic left or right situation.
I've been in many left or right situations, both of which have a left or right direction to go in. Alright. Now, I know this didn't work super well last time, but what if we split the party?
No.
No, that and no that time.
Not doing that again.
Hang
I
on.
think from all the way from the back you hear Liesel saying, "Let's not do that."
Okay.
Fuck no,
Well,
she
let's
says.
head up. It's an opposite direction to where we were before, so
Sure.
Okay.
So
It
you head
looks
up
like
and you
it
come
may
into
be another crypt.
So you come into sort of a wider, like collapsed crypt area, where you follow through here, and then you end up in sort of this very multi-optioned way.
all right, never mind. Fuck that. We'll go. South.
Hang on,
Never
hang
mind.
on. Thyra's gonna knock experimentally on one of the coffins.
Don't do that. It's rude.
What? There might be friendly skeletons in here.
I mean, we
So
have
you
met
knock,
some of those.
and the lid of the coffin like shifts slightly, and you can see like a slit of the face of a skeleton. And
Hello.
Tells you to piss off.
Sorry to bother you. We're trying to get to the cathedral, please.
and the skeleton sticks out like a bony hand and points at like a bit of charcoal on your belt for writing.
Oh, right.
And
Sorry, that was rude.
opens its
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah, I got you. Thyra takes out a piece of slate and a little bit of charcoal or bit of chalk. And I was like, "All right, here you go, fella."
So the skeleton takes
Wow.
your sign and it scribbles on it, and it turns it around and it says "fuck off," and it gives it back to you and it closes the lid.
You know what? I thought that was worth a try.
I mean, they didn't attack us, so.
Weirdly good handwriting, that skeleton. It's cursive.
So Sigmund, as you explore this other corridor, it seems that this doesn't really go anywhere. You find like some collapsed furniture, what looks like an old loo at the
Ew.
end of the corridor, but there's nothing here.
Oh, it's a dead end that way.
Probably a good thing we didn't split the party then.
It probably.
So back again, I guess.
No.
Let's try north again.
Let's try north again. There was a really helpful skeleton that way.
Okay,
Really
so
helpful, she
north,
means not at all helpful.
And by really helpful, I mean not at all helpful. And kind
north
of
you can
rude.
see a little chamber here. However, as you move past here, you can see some light coming from this direction.
Oh,
If
right.
you want to
Light.
Yes, light. So you want to head down there?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just gonna do
cool.
some quick percepting first, but okay, sure.
Perceive
No,
in the
do you want
direction
to
of the
do
light.
like a perception
No,
or
it's too
something?
late. Sigmund's already marching ahead.
No. That's fine. I think Sigmund has not marched far
Sigmund
enough
rushes
ahead
in.
that you cannot do this anymore. So, by all means, go ahead.
I mean, I don't know what I'll learn. I guess I could learn if it's like torchlight or daylight or
Hundreds of bees.
hundreds of bees emitting light for some
Shocking.
reason, or 10 million fireflies.
They're luminescent.
What am I doing?
Very nice.
Perception.
I think you were rolling perception.
Sorry, I distracted myself. Oh, city references.
No, that's fair. Okay, 18. That's quite good. You can tell that it looks like it's sort of like flickering light a little bit, so it's probably candlelight. And you can't see any shadows or something like that, or at least not any moving shadows, so you can't really. You don't seem to have any indication that there are people down there. There's like a little staircase that goes down into this chamber, but you feel sort of like a bit of a draft, so this might be like a larger chamber.
Okay.
Assuming that you relay this,
Yeah,
Sigmund,
so,
as you
yeah,
sort of
I think it's a big area. Be careful.
so Sigmund, as you go down, there's no door holding you back, so you sort of come down and you come to this big sort of chamber area where you have. There's nobody here, it
There are
seems.
some suspicious tokens.
Yes, but you are in what looks like sort of a laboratory area. There's at least a lot of notes and stuff, a lot of equipment on the floor. And oddly enough, there's nobody here. Not even like the abyssal lava that you saw earlier that was just sort of lying around.
That is strange. What are these weird tokens?
What they are is they are
Secret.
larger statues of the sort of small icons that you found before. So these are larger statues of Hagenti.
Sure.
I didn't
Let's
have
have a-
time. I didn't have time to make like a cool map thing for it, so I just used these.
Let's have a
fair.
quick percept around here.
All right. So
Ooh,
as you
chests. Treasure.
so as you go down there, it seems adjacent laboratory area is like a small worship place. And there's a big statue in the middle of what looks like a sort of a raised pond. With floating candles on it, and this statue looks quite weird, because you've seen icons of Saint Satoria in the city before, but this one looks sort of similar to that, but it's a lot weirder. For one, it doesn't have a face, or it
Gross.
at least doesn't seem to. Rather, it has sort of this relief of what looks like sort of a running metal or a running liquid that seems to cover the face, coming from a crown on the head, which is typical for Saint Satoria. But here it seems to be like drooping this molten something over the face. And you can also see that this statue clearly has 6 fingers on each hand rather than 5. Otherwise, the body proportions seem to be a lot like more off than the ones that you've seen in like the normal icon of Saint Satoria. This one seems like a lot thinner and a lot more like hunched. It's weird. It definitely is reminiscent of Saint Satoria, but it's a lot more uncanny.
Okay. And what are these things here?
Where am I looking at?
The kind of token-looking things.
Oh yeah, those are statues of Hagenti, the demon lord of alchemy, of whom you have seen icons before in this place.
Sure. So yeah, so these are icons, and these red ones are icons, and
Yeah, these little ones are candles.
Candles.
oh, those
Glowing
ones are
ones
candles. Oh, sorry, yeah. When I misclicked when I. Okay, I understand what's happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So these little ones are candles. These ones are these statues of Hagenti, and this is the weird sort of Satoria-esque looking statue.
Does it resemble anything else we've ever seen before?
Well, you can try and make a roll to see in what way you're thinking about things that you've
Well,
seen
I'm thinking
before.
about demons because of the fact that when we killed, this is sort of weighing on both me and Dave, that when we killed Migalas, he said praise be Saint Satoria, and that kind of wakes me out a bit, and also Dave. So we're
Okay.
going to take. Have I taken my natural 20 today? I think I have.
I don't know.
'Cause we're fairly fresh in the day still, aren't we?
Yeah, it's still pretty
You are
early.
today. The only thing that you've done today is this dungeon.
Yeah. I think I might take my nat 20. In
Then
my
you definitely
knowledge
can do.
planes. There you go.
In knowledge planes.
I have
Okay.
a plus
So
9 in knowledge planes, I think, if that's relevant.
Okay. Yeah, but this is like a 29 and like a crit 29. So that's
Yes.
very high.
I may regret this.
You don't think that it's a demon or that it's supposed to be a demon because you don't know of any demons, and you know quite a lot of demons because you've heard a lot about them in on Tilda's stories, and she has fought a lot of demons. This doesn't look like anything like that. Honestly, it seems more like a normal human who has just been sort of weirdly proportioned out, and about the 6 fingers on each hand. You know that that's a mark of
Polydactyly?
yes, of polydactyly. That's true. But you also know that it's generally a mark of when a particular powerful entity, or perhaps even a god, chooses a champion, if you will. Then often they are marked by a 6th finger to show like a divine power besides the normal power of mortality, if you will, the normal 5 fingers. But other than that, there's no specific creature or type of creature or type of outsider that you can immediately relate this to.
Maybe
So-
Satoria was chosen by Hagenti?
That
This is
seems
now Dave's current theory.
it's definitely a theory that, from what you can sense with a very good perception, has very high chance to be correct.
I'm never going to tell the Dr. Guy when we get back about that.
Did we check these 2 chests, by the way?
I don't believe you have. And
I
you
noticed them
can
when we came
definitely make some searches through this laboratory. If you open up the chests, then in one of them, you will find what looks like sort of a golden chalice that is inlaid with some gemstones. And if you roll me a spellcraft, then you can identify what it is. Or at least, well, you can roll on a praise. You can roll on a praise, and let's see how that goes.
If Lyra's still there, she could do spellcraft.
18 is very high. Actually, Sigmund, you have, in fact, seen not this item before, not this particular item, but one of your playing cards when you were a child featured an item that looked quite like this.
Okay.
The spell
And you'll-
card Pot of Greed, which allowed you to draw 2 more cards.
Indeed.
Mhm.
So what it used to do was that when you put out a creature card, then you could, and if you had another one out, then you could give the health of the newly summoned creature as an addition to the one that you already had. That is what that card used to do. And you assume that since this seems to be based on a real kind of artifact, that this might do something similar. But for better details, I'm going to need a spellcraft because this is a magical item.
Thyra, I found a magical cup that seems very similar to one that I used to see in one of my suspiciously chalice-themed playing cards decks back in Growlsburg, and I think you might want to take a closer look at it magic-wise. Yo.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. I mean, I'm not big on the magic stuff, but you know, I'll give it a go.
You're on a
Yeah,
roll, man.
it turns out that I did actually make this object. I don't know why it's here.
You actually made
Look,
Um,
see, if you turn it upside down, it does have my face engraved into it.
Amazing.
Sigmund looks over, and as Slayo's face is over, in the battle, because it's gold, right? So the reflection is in the light, and Sigmund's like, "Oh, I can see, yes."
Nice. Okay.
So dumb.
What you're looking at is a chalice of sacrificial summons, and it does this.
Oh, it does a thing.
Yes, it's a magical item.
Dave, it's a thing for summoning.
Yeah?
It.
How so?
Sigmund found a weird cup, and it's a thing for summoning.
Yeah, I've had quite enough to do with weird cups recently, so yeah, Dave, you can have this.
That's
sure.
solid
Sure.
decision.
I don't know if I'll ever use this, but maybe.
I don't know. It seems like you could
Oh.
use it to buff a pretty powerful summon that had like shitty
Yeah.
health or something like that.
But
Because that
means-
Archon was
that's a
pretty
lot
good,
of
but
spell
doesn't have a
slots,
lot of
man.
HP, right? I mean, it's 2.
I don't get that many.
Fair.
Oh, that could mean that I could summon a shitty thing, like a rat, and then summon a cool thing, like an Archon, and have...
Yeah.
Other than
Is
that.
this like a one-use thing, or is this just like a
No.
thing you can do now?
This is a thing that you can call upon at any point that you wish.
Oh, you have
That's
that book of
actually
extended
really
summon
cool.
as well, so you can do
that
cast an
was-
extended summon on the first.
That was
one.
only for, like, chaotic things, and I'm not chaotic, so I've been meaning to sell it for ages.
Oh, right.
Whoops.
Yeah. And if you open the other chest, then you see 3 ornate glass bottles. One of them has a clear liquid in it. One of them has a golden liquid, and one of them has a black liquid in it. And if you want to identify what they are, I am going to need a spellcraft or anything else that you can convince me of.
Fishing.
No.
Hit it with a knowledge brewing, Thyra, or a...
Oh shit! I forgot I had that ability.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
I'll
It
take.
works.
Yeah, I'll take that. Like, Thyra, you've accidentally brewed the black one before. When,
Oh, I know
stewing
this
your
one.
own
It's
booze.
burnt beer.
Um,
Ugh.
actually, the alchemists of your city were very surprised that you accidentally made this because it's a very difficult poison to distill. These 3 things are the following. I'm going to put it in Discord because that looks a little bit better. They are formulas. The black one is the first one, the golden one is the second one, and the clear one is...
Okay.
Ooh. Oh my god, a melee slashing attack from inside. Oh no. Strong pass.
Yeah, how's it gonna hurt, man?
Yeah. So it looks like they're pretty much all poisons except for one that's a minor buff and then a poison. Or poison.
Oh, I missed a little sign there. Oh, right, because the stupid Discord thing. I'm just gonna. There we go. That makes it clear.
Ah, I see. That's pretty cool. If it can
Yeah.
make someone drink it.
I used like the little star symbol, but that's Discord formatting, and I
Yeah,
used
it
it
is.
twice, so it tried to make like a weird thing. So yeah, what you have is a powerful Constitution poison, something that gives you a lump of temporary hit points, depending on how much con you have, and then gives you a minor amount of Constitution damage after. And the last one is something that makes a melee attack when it is imbibed against the imbiber, and that is also scaled with the imbiber's con bonus. So basically, the better the con of whoever drinks it, the more powerful it strikes against them.
Wow. Brutal. Someone else take these. My backpack's getting full.
So the Constitution poisons, for example, could Glanvar apply Apoptosia to an arrow, for example?
Of
How does
course.
this have to be taken?
No, you can definitely put that stuff on an arrow, as long as it gets into the body or the bloodstream. We're good.
Glanvar, I know you do like a whole sort of honor thing sometimes.
Does he?
How do you feel about poison? Are you chill?
Yeah, Glanvar, are you cool?
Are you cool?
Glanvar, are you cool?
Are you hip?
now, come on, let's not peer pressure him into trying poisons. Dare to resist.
Man.
You said one of
He
these does a
literally
melee
just
attack on you?
shrugs.
I could drink it and it could fight with, like, the Gutstone. That would be hilarious.
Oh,
Oh my god.
sorry, what did you say there, Hag?
He just shrugs. And...
You
So,
chill
yeah.
with
See,
them?
Farrah, I don't know. Is that kind of just like not cool because like it's so apathetic, or is it like so chill? It is actually super cool. I have to be honest with you, Farrah. I'm not very cool myself.
I know.
I just-
Remember
I
that
fake it
that
until I
while
like it.
where you wore like a sweater vest all the time? I didn't think that was very cool.
I think
Oh.
you're cool, Sigmund.
I'm also
God.
just conscious
Wait,
that
no, Dave's cool. Dave wins bar fights. No, that's good.
yeah, Dave's the youth of today. If anything,
Dave
you
is
know,
the
I
youth.
I think he's
Yeah, Dave.
the
Look at
most
this.
qualified.
Look at this. And then Sigmund does a dab.
That's not
What
cool.
the fuck was that? Did you just have a seizure? What the hell?
Yeet.
Bam! All of you!
Sigmund
Thyra
just staring
drinks
at
all
two
three
thumbs up and does
poisons.
a really weird smile, like.
Thyra shots all 3 poisons. No.
Incredible.
I'm just conscious of giving Glamber the Apoptosia poison because he's the only one who actually has a bladed weapon.
That's actually a fair point.
Or, like, you know,
Well, Dave
bloodstream.
has bladed weapons. Dave's got his crossbow and his dagger.
I never use a dagger, but I do have a crossbow.
Alright. I thought you had a dagger.
Well,
I do, but I never use it because the absolute
Yeah.
maximum amount of damage I can do is 1.
Oh, that's solid.
I
But yeah,
think in this
well,
case it
Glam-
doesn't really matter if you're just aiming to poison someone, though. Sorry, what were you saying, Hag?
Grandpa doesn't have any qualms about using poisons.
Oh, well, there you go, then.
If that's what you want him to use.
Either or. Whoever who actually has, like, a piercing weapon that could actually, enter someone's
I mean,
bloodstream to do the
that
damage.
offensive one sounds pretty fun. I wouldn't mind. I mean, by fun I mean horrible, but I wouldn't mind putting it. What happens if they don't have an inside? I guess it wouldn't work on a skeleton.
No, it does need
Undead
to have a
traits means that
metabolism
you're
of some
immune to
kind.
poison, I think. So
As long as it has a metabolically active inside, then it works.
Okay.
what about like a thingy cube?
That works. That works.
A big old slimy boys, I think.
Yeah, that works,
author's
that works.
manual
We've never
advised.
fought one of those. We've never even seen one.
No,
Should we do a
Surprise
quick
for
perception
next
over
meeting.
the over the rest of the room, and then we can maybe have a look at what's in that past the other one?
You need to
Oh,
keep the NPCs up with him on. You're breaking my immersion, man.
yeah.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
still-
sorry.
Can I check the statue for any? Oh, woof. Sigmund, use your powers to check the statue for any hidden doors or bullshit.
Okay, so Sigmund, your eye is immediately drawn to something, which is this little flask, only the size of a pinky finger, which has like two golden caps on it. It looks very ornate, and it is in this very ornate holder as well. And if you look inside the flask, you can see that there is one single droplet of some kind of fluid floating in the middle of the flask, and it looks perfectly clear. It has no discernible color.
I found something weird.
This immediately takes your interest. Other than that, you notice that there are some like scalpels and blades and razors lying around, but you notice that they are different than normal iron, and when you touch them, they feel very cold. So it seems that
Almost
there is
like
like a lot of
cold iron.
like cold iron indeed. So it looks like since these guys were like working with and experimenting on demons, they have had a need for razors and scalpels that could actually cut demons without the annoyance of their damage reductive regeneration. So it looks like there are a lot of razors and little blades around here that are made of cold iron.
Oh, is there any kind of like tools around here?
Yes, this is an alchemy lab. There is definitely some stuff here.
Thyra,
What up, my boy?
you can do like crafting and things, right?
Yeah.
And
Why?
Sigurd gets the shield of Arbello and is just like, how about we swap out some of the spikes on the shield of Arbello for some of these cold iron razor blades and turn these into cold iron shield spikes? That might be pretty useful.
That sounds dope, man.
There's not a forge in here to do that.
No, but there'll be Bunsen burners and that.
Yeah, there's
How-
stuff like that.
How hot do you think something needs to be to melt iron,
I
Sigmund?
might have brought some duct
Listen,
tape.
I'm
the old
extremely
duct tape.
stupid. I don't know how.
Maybe we
With the
maybe we
tools
grab
that are,
all this shit and when we're back above ground.
with the tools that are around here, you can make a roll to either try and convert them into arrows, or you could try to indeed like put them on shield spikes or something like that. For either one, I would need a craft roll that is appropriate, because there are tools here, but you do need some expertise.
I have craft wood carving. That doesn't seem particularly useful.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense for arrows. Thyra's method of
Yeah,
crafting
craft
is
that
actually
thing.
like kind of
Oh, shit.
divine will stuff, so she doesn't
Right.
actually have a huge amount of craft ability herself.
Well, as long as you have something, because you have a of crafting wondrous items, right?
Yes.
That is definitely enough.
I mean,
Alright,
you could definitely hang on to them and forge. There's got to be a forge in the play corner somewhere. You could probably use that when we get back.
Well, I think one was saying there's actually enough stuff to
Yeah,
get
there
done
is
here.
enough stuff here to
Could
do
we
it.
kind of bodge something together, like attach it somehow?
Yeah,
It.
as I said, like this in this lab, there are plenty of stuff. There's plenty of stuff here to do it because Hagenti is not only specifically the demon lord of alchemy. They also have a lot of relations to the iconography of a forge and of artifice and stuff like that.
Oh, so there'll be like a mini forge here, right? Like,
Yeah.
like built into a
Yeah.
cupboard or something.
Indeed. So there is definitely enough tools here to do it. I'm only going to need a roll
Okay.
of some kind.
Okay, so what kind of roll do you want then? I don't have like craft is the thing.
I see.
Aside from craft brewing.
In that case, let me see what skills are at our disposal.
Do you not have to roll anything when you're crafting a wondrous item? Do you just kind of do it?
I just kind of do it. It requires time and it requires money.
Okay.
Right, I see. So, I think that's actually kind of tricky. What skill does craft normally use?
It normally uses intelligence, I think.
I see.
Which is why Thyra has to have 4 ranks in craft brewing to do anything that makes
I
sense.
see. I see.
Because she's stupid as hell normally.
Do you have knowledge engineering?
Nope.
No.
No
Okay.
one has knowledge engineering, mod.
They,
do.
does
Beatrice
Dave?
does. Send
Yeah.
us.
I've got all of the knowledges, man. I'm a bard.
Yeah.
That's the
Dave's
point.
got them all.
I got them all.
He's a knowledge master.
He's a bard.
It's my job, man. I can't fight for shit, and I can't cast many good spells, but I sure do know a lot of things.
I mean, if you have a feat that allows you to craft wondrous items, then I think you can use that same feat to craft these regular items, to be honest.
Okay, so what if the scene is Thyra like rubbing her hands together and expended some uses of Lightning Lord to sort of clamp them into place?
Oh, yeah.
Like, her
If
gauntlets
you
are
want
sort of
to-
sparking with electricity, and she just sort of starts to hand weld them onto the spikes of the Shield of
if you
Arbella.
want to use like some uses of that for it, then it definitely succeeds.
Everyone cover your eyes. I'm not very good at this.
And the whole
Sigmund's holding
place.
it like in place and like acting as a semi-anvil with his big old armor.
Thyra has some goggles. She has like some big, like Mad Max goggles, and she's just like, everyone else avert your gaze. Oh, and as we've established in canon, the lightning, of course, like ricochets down the corridor outside, through the door, and into her
it
gloves.
does. You hear like rumbling all through the old city as the lightning is just coming down, and you have to wait approximately like 3 minutes for it to arrive.
You know, in like the early Thor movies, there's always those uncomfortable moments where they're waiting for Mjolnir to show up.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
5 of the 6 seconds of any turn of Thyra using Lightning Lord are her waiting expectantly for the lightning to show up.
Very nice. Okay, so you can definitely do that.
Okay, so with
That's a really nice GIF. I like that.
back
oh,
plus or something? What's it from?
It's from Grande Out, also Gromit. It's when the
Oh,
rocket's
is it?
taking off.
That's
I love
amazing.
it. This GIF is on loop in my head.
Okay. So there's that, and so Sigmund, you now have coal iron shield spikes,
Sick.
Yes, cool.
Noise.
That's dope as fuck, man.
and there's still that droplet of something in a very ornate.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass that over to Thyra. And yeah, it made more sense to do it for the shield spikes. I don't think we've got the equipment to like remake the Mace of Spades.
No,
but I
it
think-
makes
Yeah,
sense
that
to
would
use
be
shield
spikes.
difficult.
Swap in and out.
That would be
Yeah, that's
difficult, but the shield spikes I definitely will allow.
There we go. Thyra's luck runs out, and she says,
Okay,
I have
Farah,
no
you
idea.
do not know what that is. It looks
Dave.
very important, but you don't know what it is.
It looks kind of important, but I have no idea what it
Is
may
it
be.
spell-
Dave, what's this
Spellcraft?
hyper booze?
Or is this a knowledge arcana or something? Or can I make a
Galactic
I'm
Gargle
looking
Blast.
for a spellcraft or a knowledge arcana or any of those two.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no, I should have taken the 10. Oh no.
oh no! Isn't that
game
your
Grim's
second
losing.
crit fail of this session?
Is Thyra's
It's
getting all the good luck.
incredible.
I'm getting all the bad. Oh,
I
man.
just rolled a 7.
Oh no, my halfling luck has run out.
You're not a lucky halfling. You don't have the. That's
I think it's vodka.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave, you're pretty sure that this is the last vodka they had left.
That's what Dave says. There you go. Now we'll never know what
Okay,
it
well-
is.
Well, you put it in your sack there, Dave. I don't want to trust myself with the words.
I'm going to call it vodka, question mark.
All right.
Vodka? 2 question marks.
Mm.
Unless either of our NPC friends are going to say anything. Oh dear.
Very nice.
All right.
What's
I guess we should take a closer look in here.
Yeah,
What's
sure.
here?
Unless there's anything else anyone wanted to do in here. Just I'm aware that we are Popewood bound.
I wanted.
Popewood bound.
Good Lord, I want to check if
gonna
there
be
was.
If I ever make like a video game, that's gonna be its title, Popewood bound.
It's gonna be like a 3 Men and a Baby style thing where someone has kidnapped a pope. My suggestion was, can we check for hidden doors or anything underneath the statue of Saint Sartori?
Okay. Well, Sim's just
Absolutely.
moving up to this top part, just so we can see if there's anything coming off the top here.
Yeah. So what you see here is some more crypt stuff.
Stuff, TM.
TM indeed. And some stuff that goes
Hashtag crypt stuff.
#crypt stuff. And some stuff that goes that away.
Oh, I didn't realize there was an up.
Yeah, me neither.
Right, okay.
I mean, do you still want to check this room, or?
We've already checked it. Well, Dave's pretty
I mean-
satisfied he's checked it anyway.
Can I take a double check for any sort of hidden doors or anything around the base of the statue?
Well, it's in a
Full of
pool, isn't
paranoia.
it?
Yeah, I'll give my boots mucky. I don't give a fuck.
Roll an old disable device.
Shit.
Oh shit! Oh,
Oh no!
Why,
Fire-
yes, there is definitely a hidden door underneath this statue. We just need to lift it. Come, help me, fellows.
Thyra reaches down, and there's still a little bit of electricity coursing around her gauntlets, touches the water, and is thrown back. As there's just like a boom.
Oh no.
Ow.
Thyra?
Ow. Okay.
You have dark brown hair at the
Take 8
moment.
points of pride damage.
Indeed.
Thyra's hair was already lamp black. So, but there's just smoke coming off her gauntlets, and she's like, "I'm okay," but it was extremely loud.
Yeah, I think that the blast has made like all of the floating candles go out.
Nailed it.
And now the pond's electrified. Great.
It definitely cast this already weird statue in an even weirder light.
Yep, that's
shall we?
spooky as shit. Don't like that.
Moving on.
okay, moving on.
Moving on. So as you
Like a
move here,
senseless
you
wall
find.
that takes us beyond.
Yeah, indeed. So you've now gotten to the other side of that thing.
Which I assume Dave knows, even if, like me, IRL, I would have no fucking idea. My sense of direction is appalling.
I'm a dwarf.
Yeah, so
True,
you've come
you're a
you've
dwarf.
come from this away from over here and passed by here, and you've stood before this wall on the other side, and now you're actually on the other side.
Is there an obvious thing that we can pull on that turns it? Is it a Dark Souls thing? We can pull on
No,
and
it's
it
not.
opens up as okay.
If this was a video game, it definitely would be. Like this would be where you open up the shortcut from your last save point.
You've been fighting for 45 minutes, and then you pull one lever, and you're like, I've traveled 4 feet.
Yes, exactly. So you see this, and there is another like bricked up wall there, and here there are 2 other like old chests, and there's some like
Oh, let's check these chests first.
there's like half of a chapel wall in here, like stuff that shows the ruins of the old city. Clearly, it seems that Hagenti was the main object of worship and not this Saint Sotoria character.
Seems a bit backwards to stop worshipping the god and start worshipping the prophet, but I mean, that's kind of what happened with Christianity, so...
Yeah, I was just wondering about that.
Exactly.
Like,
Okay, so if you open up this chest, Sigmund, roll me a d100.
It's gonna be a bear.
Oh
Yeah.
no. It was a piece
64.
That's a nice
Okay.
number.
Nice.
It's a nice number.
Nice number.
It appeals to all those hours I
Um,
spent playing Minecraft.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Okay.
I legit only know my 8
so
times table because of Minecraft.
You take out something, and it looks like in here are some like old camping supplies and a backpack that has been eaten by moths, and there is also a little like cloth bag with a amber colored glass bead in it. And could you roll me an appraise, please, or a spellcraft if you?
But we've already been over the fact he doesn't have spellcraft because he's
Yes,
a
indeed.
fighter. Doesn't know things.
Oh no.
He doesn't know anything.
He rolled a 0.
You rolled a negative
Well, you rolled
just
a
a moment
minus
ago.
Minus one.
That wasn't even
Yeah.
a crit fail.
I will never forget Delta's -4.
What was that? What was that stealth?
That's. I think so.
That's what I rolled when I was trying to hide from that the manticore,
The
whatever it
manticore,
was.
So
No, it wasn't the
Sigmund,
manticore,
this looks like a very nice marble. This guy must really love this marble.
Oh, hey Dave, do you want this marble?
Sure, that looks pretty. Do I know what it is as I reach out?
So yeah, roll some stuff.
Oops, that's
Roll spellcraft or appraise.
Spellcraft, appraise. Let's hope that I roll better than I did before. My spellcraft is better than my appraise, but not by much. So I'm gonna pray.
I feel
You
like
can
that
choose to
fun was
take a
wasted.
10 if you.
Oh no, not
What?
again! No!
How?
I drop
Please
it.
make
I
it
drop it on the
horrible.
floor.
Yeah.
Maybe
So like,
step on
yeah,
it.
this is also a marble to you, Dave.
Oh, this is pretty. Yeah, I like this. I've
Okay.
literally run out of space in my other possessions list.
Well, this
Yeah.
is only the size of a marble.
But I need to know that I have it. I mean, I mean,
Yeah.
like I've run out of space on my character
Oh,
sheet.
I see. Right.
I use
Yeah,
a
I
notepad
can write it on mine if you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
But would you say it's marvelous?
It is.
Indeed, it is very marvelous.
Classic punmeister, Brother Glanvar.
Dave
Mhm.
tries to stuff it in his handy
The
ham
tragic
sack and
thing
it keeps
is,
popping
the
out
stream's
as
probably
too
heard
much
me
stuff.
say that pun 3 times now.
Okay.
You are now.
Let's
You
take a
said
look,
that
see what's
3
here.
times? Were you
Yeah,
having...
no one heard me the first 2.
Oh
What?
no, physically didn't. I didn't know if your mic was picking.
No,
up.
yeah, I think there
Oh,
was a
I'm
mic
sorry,
thing
buddy.
going on.
I've never
Oh
heard
man,
such a horrible
yeah, that's a
pun.
shame. Anyhow, in the other chest, you find. Well, roll me a d100 again.
I'll let someone else take this one.
Yeah.
I shall search the chest.
Okay.
Dara sticks her hand straight in.
35.
That's another nice number. I
1 to 34 is, of course,
multiples
boxes
of
and
5.
mimic.
Okay, 35. Okay. So what you find in here? There we are. So what you look at is a small token, sort of the size of a coin, which has the like a carving of a bird on it, and there is like a rune on the other side.
Bird token.
Bird token. So you can definitely roll something to identify what this is.
Pretty sure it's a token with a bird on it, gang.
I think that you, as you open up the, very nice. Wow, there's a lot of like extreme rolling being done today.
Stop sucking up all
Like,
the
look
luck,
at all
Thyra.
these
Pretty high variance, to be quite honest.
high variance. I would not have much faith in this data set.
4 out of 5 spellcraft checks. She's done like 18 plus.
Yeah,
I
so
rolled
what
for
you're
critical
looking at
fails.
here is a feather token, And let me. That's actually a specific one. It's the bird feather token. So that needs to be this link instead.
It lets you summon birds.
If only. If
And
only.
throw them at people.
I can do
Oh,
that all the time.
it creates a small bird that can be used to send a message. That's so handy.
That's so cute.
Dave,
Yes.
this thing makes a bird. Now,
I've already got
I
a
know
bird.
birds are kind of your aesthetic. Do you want a bird?
Sure.
It-
My
it-
inventory is full, but I'll make space somewhere.
Make space for a bird. It can send a message.
Yeah.
I'll
It's
start
the
an
size
extra.
of a coin.
It's a
Indeed.
what?
Do I really need to know that I've
Yeah,
got a
that's
loot? I
actually
could probably remember that I've got a loot.
That's actually really useful because we're in a town that doesn't. I don't think that message. I think message is a divination spell, isn't it?
That's
Send it.
possible.
Lounge music plays as Jack googles.
Mhm.
Oh no, it's evocation. We could use sending.
All I know is that I can't commune with birds, and it makes me very sad.
There, buddy.
Aw.
Send them a letter.
Send him a
Not up
letter.
to date on Twitter. I always make that joke every time I mention that spell. It's not funny anymore.
No, I'm kidding.
Moving swiftly on.
Moving swiftly on, there is a bricked
Swiftly
up wall
moving
here
on.
that you can recognize as the typical sort of bricked up wall that you've broken through before.
Bam!
Bam! You smash it open, and yeah, there we
Nothing
go.
happens.
You make some weird noises.
You break it
You
open,
Slip on a banana peel on the other side.
and
You kill
the
someone.
sort of half-decayed skeleton corpse
Oh god!
just falls on you.
Ah! Oh, it's
It's like that
spooky
one door in
skeleton.
Resident Evil.
I don't. What? I've not seen that stage play yet, Sigmund. Stop spoiling it for me.
So yeah, you find
Never mind
bricked up-
Resident Evil 2, the stage play.
Yeah, you find bricked up between these two walls. The skeleton. Well, it's not a full skeleton yet. The sort of
That's even worse.
still somewhat
The
meaty
decaying
skeleton
corpse is not better.
No,
of
it's worse. It's much worse.
of what looks like a cleric of Saint Storia, as you've seen them with their big blue hats and robes, wearing the cross with horns on a chain, and with it looks like in his little place here where he's bricked himself up in, still
Oh,
like
he
a.
bricked himself up, did he?
It looks like that because along with him is on the ground a bucket of already long solidified mortar and a heap of bricks.
This guy
Wow,
really lost it.
That's a
Dark.
really weird thing to do.
Yeah. Bang.
Bang. So
Delicately
It's
steps
gone.
over it. Let's not dwell on this. Let's keep going.
as you
Let's
break
not
through
dwell on
this,
Good advice.
as you break through this, you come into a room
Let's
which
not
looks
dwell on
a
this.
lot more well maintained. In fact, it looks like the cellar
Of a cathedral.
of a cathedral, indeed. And you can see that there's another like little bricked up wall over there, and that there's another one over there.
Oh wow, was this the person that was supposed to have put the last line of defences on the cathedral and the
He didn't even
devil
pull
pokers?
himself in though. He could have just waited until he'd done to do this one.
Oh no, I think this is a bad pope. I think this is a bad pope who does bad things.
I mean,
You
already knew
think?
that.
What was your first guess? Was it the fact that they're a literal demon?
Yes, that was the big one.
Mm.
Yeah. The second one was the corpse.
Ah. The, marshalling an army against us thing that didn't count as a strike for you?
I kind of tied that into the whole demon thing.
Fair enough.
I've connected the dots.
Ah.
You didn't connect shit.
I've
um,
connected them.
so,
I've connected them.
did anyone else not really think that we were going to get here and didn't really have a plan as to how to,
Kill the Pope.
enter a cathedral and kill the Pope?
Well, I think we should perhaps we should send the stealthy people in first to get a lay of the land, and I don't know.
Because the whole
stone
point of
lock
us coming in from the underground was to be able to do a surprise attack right in the heart.
Yeah, so let's set up an ambush.
Yes.
Well, we need to go up first, though, I
Yes.
guess, right?
You do.
What if you disguised yourself as a priest of Sartoria, Dave?
I mean, I could try.
Well, there is
yeah.
There is one other set of that specific
No,
clothing
it's
handy.
fine. I've got magic sleeves. I don't need to do
Yep.
that.
Yeah, I know, but if someone else wanted to do that,
Who is he approximately the size of?
he's a reasonably tall man. So if anyone,
Everyone looks like Sigmund.
this would be Sigmund
The
I
thing
get the
is,
impression that
Or
Pate's
Pate,
not,
I guess.
Pate's not super
or
tall.
Pate. Yeah, or Pate or
Because
Lethal.
it would be going on over which might.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that
What's
as
Pate
you
wearing?
guys are talking about that, Pate is like, oh shit. Hey guys, what if I wear this? And he has like the hat on already, and he's holding the skull.
That's so gross,
that's
dude.
really morbid, Pate. That's
Well, you know.
super grim.
Well, if you and Dave go up in like social stealth, and if Glanvar goes up in
Can we?
literal
No, I
stealth-
want to go up in regular stealth first, please. I don't want to have to.
Okay.
This is gross.
Why don't you go up in regular stealth, but also still wearing the robes in case you get caught?
Okay, sure. Dave just like instantly magic sleeves into a.
Okay, so I'm going to
Fancy
give
little
Pate a little
halfling
symbol that he is
page boy.
disguised.
Okay, sure. I guess I'm also disguised.
Mhm.
I'll give myself the little.
You can also, if you wish, put the ninja symbol on it.
Ninja symbol. That's
You-
it. That's how they.
hang back. Okay, Pate. I'm going to regular stealth then.
Mhm.
Because if we can launch
Okay,
a surprise attack,
sure.
then without faffing around, that's all the better.
Okay.
Okay.
Indeed.
Do we maybe get out of this sort of wide open basement area until Dave comes back with the all clear?
Wide open basement area is a bit of a contradiction.
What a wide open basement is not a
Well, we're not in a wide open
paradox.
basement though. We're in a small space.
We
There's
can have a high ceiling, I guess.
We're at the
True.
bottom of this cathedral stairs was pretty much my... Like, if someone's like, oh, I need the spare scrolls, they're just going to find 6 heavily armed people in their basement.
There's nothing down here. It's all walled off, isn't it? So,
Indeed.
Yeah.
don't know why anyone would
So-
want to come down here. Unless they hear some people talking.
And yet, here we are.
Here you are.
I say let's send Team Stealth up.
Okay.
Team.
Stealth team.
Team. Okay, so Pate is going to join you.
Pate's stealth team as well, is he? Okay.
If I do say so myself, I am pretty good at stealth.
Okay.
And you can, in the back, you can see Lisa sort of
These are sort of doing what?
Like, shaking her head like, no, he's not.
like a discreet chuckle.
That's not reassuring. I got 26 though, so you know, finally broke my curse for the time being.
26 is very good. Okay, so
Thank you.
I can't move only one player to a certain map. So I am going to show you
don't
guys,
think
show
so.
all of you guys what is happening here, assuming that Dave relays what he can see.
Yeah. Sounds like something I do.
So Dave, you go up the stairs, and it's actually a long way up. Like this seems to be pretty deep.
Whew.
And as you come up, you enter into sort of like a chilly big room, and you look around and you see a very, very high ceiling, and it seems that you've come into the main room of the cathedral in one of the... And as you sneak around the side here, you can tell that it looks like the main hall of prayer is quite empty. There doesn't seem to be a mass going on at the moment or anything like that, but you can see Bishop Mendakis himself, who seems to be praying to the frontal icon of Saint Sartoria in what looks like
very
silence.
nicely drawn. Very nicely drawn.
Thank you.
It looks very good.
Most of it is reworked 2-minute tabletop assets, but the icons is
Yeah, I can
my
tell.
design.
Cool.
Very cool.
Oh, these are some fancy ass pews, man. Like armchairs and everything.
Yeah.
They're like cinema seats. They fold
I
down.
know.
Yeah. There's a cup holder.
Pop
You
on the
actually
floor.
see that there's like a box, for like a usher who can walk around and sell, hot dogs or ice cream or
This
whatever.
is what Dave's going to do. It's probably not going to go very well because it's
Sneak attack.
No, it very
Get
rarely
him.
does. I'm gonna roll sense motive. That's average.
Okay.
It's-
What are you rolling sense motive on?
Just I guess probably the bishop. Like I don't know. To me, coming up here and seeing nothing but the Pope or bishop is freaking me the fuck out. Like it's saying sneak attack or our ambush is going to be ambushed by because we're being paranoid. I might be thinking too much like someone who's seen movies rather than a 19-year-old halfling boy.
He's seen plays.
He has seen plays. That's and there is definitely some like convenient anachronism going on in PATHCO. So
Yes, there is.
What when?
okay, so with a 10, nothing seems to be off to you immediately. Like if there's no mass going on, it seems pretty normal to you for the church to be mostly empty. And Pate is looking around and saying, "There's a lot of gold in here. Ugh. Very tacky." And he's sort of looking around as well.
Egg agrees.
What do you
Egg
think?
agrees. Egg prefers our cathedrals to be wood carved.
Is it looking safe enough for Dave to like gesture?
Yeah, like the bishop definitely doesn't seem to have noticed you.
Yeah, I'll probably stealth back down and say, "There's no one here. It's just him. It's perfect." Can open up with like a glad I could shoot him with one of the poisons or something, and we can we'll rush in.
Okay. Oh wait, I'm just gonna move you guys back to the.
That's what Dave with his wisdom
the
minus
maze.
1 is going to say.
Mhm. Yeah, I think Pate is gonna come back down as well, and he is gonna say, "Yeah, there's nobody else there. I mean, I suppose it's normal for a cathedral, but I don't know. As a captain of the army, former captain of the army, it's I don't know. It's giving me a bad vibe, but
That's because he's
That's
a demon, mate.
unfortunate because we can't exactly come here and just leave, right? Like this is what we were looking for. We're just gonna have to.
I think it looks fine.
well, I mean, you guys have as much experience with this as I do, I suppose. So I'll trust you on that, Dave.
Do we have any idea?
We might want to head in with some care. I don't know whether he's there by accident or whether we're being expected. So I suppose they wouldn't.
I mean, we've already taken out one of them.
That's true.
And we weren't even
And there
expecting
are-
to find a demon then.
Yeah, and there are 6 of us. So I mean, hey, and we're all pretty experienced. So I suppose we could probably take him.
No. Sorry, you misread the tone there, bud. I was saying he probably knows we're coming because we've already taken down one of them.
Oh, right. Well, I suppose.
What if the statue comes to life and we're like, weighing in for a fight, and then he's just like, ho ho ho, and then, the big icon of Saint Sartoria just beats us to death.
You're too traumatized by that Temple of Odin thing, aren't you?
I'm still traumatized by that whole temple. I wasn't there for the Temple
Weren't
of
you?
Odin.
Oh, right.
He wasn't. No, check the end. That
Wait,
was
I'm
Napoleon.
traumatized from that, says Dave.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Projecting.
Let's all take a look at our flashcards of each other's traumas.
Yeah. As a side note, Napoleon still has that book.
Yeah, we know.
Who's got the troglodyte one? They've got like top trumps cards.
Oh no.
Well, I think that the longer that we wait, the
Dave
more
always
chance of
loses.
reinforcements. I understand that this could very well be some kind of trap, but I mean,
That's
we had to
true.
assume that was always a possibility when we came here, right?
Okay.
It's a
yeah,
good point.
you're right. Honestly, if it is a trap, the best we can do is try and take him out before any reinforcements arrive. Because
Yeah,
if he's the
going
only one there,
fast.
the only thing we seem to be certain of is that there is no one else there. So this might actually be our moment.
Yeah,
Alright,
let's
well,
hope that he
let's all
is
go to
actually
the
a
other map.
demon. Because if we just kill a random dude, that's gonna be bad times.
Yeah, I mean, he still seems like a dick.
We
Yeah,
saw him
you did
transform
kind of
that
show
one time,
up
didn't we?
and say, yeah, this is an angel sent by Satoria when, what's his general face name turned into?
What's his general face?
General McGeneral face turned into a demon.
He's complicit at least, so let's just take him out. Like,
Okay, sure.
Okay, I'm adding you
Doing
guys
hits
to.
on human-looking
thing.
beings is a new experience. I mean, I'm not sure I like it.
And there we are.
Now we're all going to spend 6 rounds running across the cathedral.
Yep. That's what we call a long trip. Oh, he's only 110 feet away.
Is that all?
Hmm.
Well, that's like 2 rounds for
Doesn't bother
Donald.
you, I
That's like...
suppose.
I can look at it, see, I can move 50 feet at most. Okay, so that's only 3 rounds for Dave.
Wait, how did you say 110 feet?
Like as the crow flies from Sigmund, yes.
That's literally the range of my longbow.
Well, there you go.
Perfect.
That's kind of convenient,
let's
I
try
guess.
and get as close as possible with the sneakiest.
Maybe
You want the
we can
sneakiest
persuade
people to
him...
get as close as possible when
maybe we
the
can
sneakiest
persuade
people
him
aren't.
to just go home.
Okay. As you guys come up, could you all roll me stealth, please?
Yeah, buddy.
I already rolled stealth. I have to do it again. Oh,
Yes,
Holy
you
shit,
have.
I rolled a 15.
okay.
Wow, this is
This
looking
is
good.
pretty good so far. Now, let's see if I roll another natural 1.
Yep, let's roll for Lisel. Okay, that looks
Sigmund,
good.
exactly
Oh,
as stealthy as Brother Glenn.
Oh, thank God.
That's questionable.
What a world! What a
World.
world!
It's also worth noting at this point that the reason that you'll have noticed with Sigmund sneaking, actually with this very light mithril armor,
Solid
he's
point.
actually a lot less clanky. No, this is what it is. Like his armor penalty is significantly lower than it used to be, and he is actually
Yeah, I
not
know.
that bad.
I mean,
It's not great, but it's not as it's not as bad as it could be.
indeed.
Imagination.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna roll perception.
Oh, boy.
I mean, he doesn't only have to beat 15, which is not super
That's
high
not
for a
the
demon.
most high.
For someone who's, we assume, is like, at least CR 9, 10, maybe higher.
From what you can tell, the Pope has not noticed you.
So, where
He remains prostrated in prayer.
where are we moving to?
I think this was just to come up the stairs.
Oh, was it?
Okay.
Never mind then.
No. This is for any movement that you are doing right now.
Let's get close.
As you
okay.
have come, as you are at the top of the stairs.
So what? Like, do we all get a round of movement not noticed?
You all get a move action.
Oh, move action.
Move
okay.
action
Move
or
action.
move action?
Can I go, like, here?
Single move then, basically.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That basically that means basically nothing. We're all gonna try and
nothing.
get to the closest spot of cover, aren't we?
Yep.
We're sitting on top of each other.
The
This
nearest
counts.
row
This
seats.
counts as cover.
No,
I played
Sigmund, I was
XCOM.
gonna use that.
These are pretty high chairs, so this is cover.
God damn it.
I'm gonna hide behind the statue, I guess, or like to
Oh, we
the
just-
side. Can I be here? Is this allowed? Do I have to be here?
Yes, you can be there.
Okay.
That's
I'm a very
allowed.
small boy after all, so
Glamvar, where are
This
you
is
going?
true.
Glamvar can move much further.
Fucking Glamvar just flies.
Yeah, Zoof. Pate, I think, is going to move over here, and Lisel is going to move to here.
As well.
Yeah, so Dave, you're sort of sitting to the side of the statue, and it's
Has
very
Glamvar
sort of
prepared his arrows of any. Yeah, but before we came out.
yeah. So Dave, for you, the statue, as you're looking at it closely, looks very off, since you've just seen like that really weird one, and this one is like idyllic. It's
Yeah.
perfect. It's beautiful. It's tragic. It's holy.
Beautiful again.
And it looks just. It puts you off having just seen like that really creepy version of it.
And the creepy version felt like the real version. Does she still have
Possibly.
the six fingers or just 5?
These also have 6 fingers,
Okay.
funnily enough.
Well, that's not that funny if they think she's a prophet of Figenti.
Okay.
Or maybe they just think she's a prophet of something. They don't, maybe not specifically know she's a prophet of a demon.
Okay.
Anyway, what now? Initiative?
Yeah, I
No,
mean, you guys can decide what you want to do from this point out.
Stealth
let's try
attack?
and. Well,
Surprise
we can't
round,
get
man.
to him yet, can we? Well,
I
I think we.
I mean, Brother
Probably
Glamour
me
probably
and
could.
Glambar could.
I
could get him
summon
with
something
Lightning
pretty close.
Ward once.
Right, I can summon something that far away.
Like, if we do one more round of stealth, then we're kind of able to charge him.
Yeah.
It's a question of whether or not
significant.
we pull the trigger now or in a little bit.
The DC is likely to get higher as we get closer to.
Yeah. I feel like we should just do it.
I mean, I can reach him from.
Hang on, I have an idea.
It's better than. Is it better than just Glamour shoots him in the back of the head?
My idea was to cast Silence on us.
That seems like a bit of a waste of a spell slot, but
I'd also laugh if that casting that spell required somatic component.
that would be pretty funny.
It actually does.
Are you kidding me? Does casting silence require somatic components?
Yeah. I also don't know that I can end it before the end of the spell, so it would kind
I
of fuck
see.
over our casters.
Yeah. And
Might be
Dave.
useful.
he's a
And Dave's
bard.
the person who's literally based around sound. Cool, thanks, Simon.
Yeah, I know.
He'd be jamming away and no one could hear.
Holy shit! The range is 400 feet. Do I use it on him now, and do we just fucking rush him?
Do we know that demon spells have somatic components? Did we see that with Miguel?
But the thing is, it means he can't call for help or anything either, and use any kind of spell casting to do that.
That's a very good idea, though. I'm surprised.
Sorry, that was
That was Jack, not Thyra.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast the spell Silence, which allows me to, fucking silence him, and then we all rush in and beat his head in.
Unless he
Alright,
passes a
okay.
will save, I assume.
Unless he passes something called a will save. Thoughts on this being a good idea or not?
Thumbs up.
Well, considering our alternative is just to pop a thing in him, fuck it, let's give it a go.
A thing?
Glanvar, do you want to prepare an arrow for if this fails?
I will prepare several arrows.
Okay, can you whisper, please?
No, I'm kidding. Okay, so am I doing this?
Yeah, boy.
Okay. Thyra is going to cast Silence,
Okay.
which has a fucking ridiculous range, like half a mile range.
Incredible.
Yeah.
What kind
It's-
of
It's
roll?
400 feet plus
400
40 feet per level.
That's a lot. That's still not half a mile,
Yeah.
I don't think.
Okay. So you said that was a will save? What kind of DC am I looking for?
The spell save Donkey Kong is 15.
Okay.
It's not
I
so
am
high.
gonna
But
get
again, he did not make a 15 perception check, so
Fingers crossed. It's also based on wisdom as well, isn't it? So
yeah. How
Maybe.
wise are demons? I don't know.
Where's my
I've never
dice
seen the stat block
roller?
of a demon, which says a lot about both my DMing style and Mom's DMing style, I would say.
Okay, so that's here's the bloody dice roller. Okay, so we'll save.
So Thyra basically crouched down to try and be out of sight. Starts doing like some hand gestures and muttering in Dwarven, and then I don't know what the silent spell actually looks like. I don't know how much of a visual component there is.
Great question for the DM. How tall are
Yeah.
these chairs, and would they be half cover for a human but full cover for a dwarf or halfling?
I wonder about
These
stuff like that.
these chairs are about 5 feet high.
Oh, sick.
They
that's
are.
full. That's full
Yeah.
cover.
So they're full cover for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the silence has gone down now, right?
Yeah, so you see, Thyra, I think this is probably something where, from your lips as you cast this spell, like a thin, sort of grey sliver of air sort of slips
What
How-
if she starts speaking and it's like sound is being sucked out like as she speaks instead of actually saying something?
Yeah, that's very nice. I like the look of that.
Great, I stole it from friends at the table. Anyway.
And you can see this effect of the spell creeping and crawling up to the point where the bishop is praying. Fyra, what happens when the will save is beat?
I don't actually know if I can tell.
Well, my main question is, if the will save is beat, does the target know that something has been tried to be cast upon them?
It normally does, right?
It doesn't say in the
Bear in mind that it's not cast on them; it's cast on a point, and they just happen to be within the range of it, right?
Oh, is that so?
Yep.
Aha.
Oh, so are we all silenced?
No.
Yes.
It's a 20-foot radius.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
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 Okay, so we just
I'm gonna
run.
put an effect on it then, so that I can see that. But the bishop has saved, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I gathered.
What's a good sign for this that's not too obtrusive? These are all so like gaudy. I'm looking for something that's a bit. Oh yeah.
Found it from the PRD according to the Reddit. A creature that successfully saves against a spell that has no obvious physical effects feels a hostile force or a tingle, but cannot deduce the exact nature of the attack. Likewise, if a creature's saving throw succeeds against a targeted spell, you sense that the spell has failed. You do not sense when creatures succeed on saves against effect and area spell. So, he is aware that something has happened. I am not aware that he has succeeded.
Okay, I see. So there's the effect of silence, which is a bit big, but well, that's just how it's going to be. Wait, maybe I can do something with a tint color to make it
more
less.
transparent.
I can do this.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That's something.
It lasts for the next 8 rounds, so no one go inside that.
So this happens.
Oh, I'm going inside it.
As
be quiet then.
As you cast it, the bishop, like his voice stops for a moment as he's praying, and suddenly he stands up and he turns around and he says, "What's that? Who's that?"
Loose that arrow, Glan.
Glan was gonna release his flurry then.
Okay, roll it.
Go, Glanvar, go, Glanvar, go. He did it.
Maybe. Numbers.
Okay.
Still calculating.
Still calculating.
Glanvar fires an abacus and that.
Were these poisoned arrows as well? Or?
No, I didn't get the poison that was given to Dave.
Okay.
Was it? Oh shit. Okay.
Oh shit! Did we give that to David?
I only wanted one of them.
If you got you guys, if you want to change where the poison is, you can do that, but do it now. So you can now decide who has what poison.
I specifically wanted the one that made it so that if they got hit by it, it was like they got meleeed.
Formula fittive.
Yes. I'm running.
Where is the hypertrophic one? The one that does temporary hit points. Where is that?
I guess I've got it then. Glanvar has it.
Yes, that's the healing one. That's not the poison. The other one is the apoptosia, and that is the high caliber constitution poison.
That one. Fire that one.
Take that one.
Yes. Well, you haven't stated that before you shot the attack, so I'm not quite sure how to do that. But are we still waiting on that flurry, by the way? Is that going to come through?
I think the macro
come through for us.
Yeah, I can't
see the
page.
Yeah, it hasn't come through for us. Can you screenshot it?
Or try refreshing the page, guys. I'm pretty sure that's worked for me before.
Yeah.
Let's see if it
Still
does.
though, that the hypertrophy formula. Who has that on them? because
Oops,
we do need to establish that.
Dave, I thought for the other two.
Oh, do I have all of them
Okay.
now? Okay, sure.
It's in Discord.
Okay, so I'm looking at 15, 28, 24, and 19.
14,
Okay.
28, 24, and 19, yeah.
Yeah, 14, 28, 24, 19. Okay, so
3 points of damage there. Well,
Yeah.
you loosen your arrows, and the first one, the bishop just about manages to duck away from, but the other 3 hit him straight in the chest. And he is thrown back against the icon of Saint Storia, and he's sort of in like a very how do you say it? In a very iconic way, he sort of falls back and lands like in the open hand as he has these 3 arrows in his chest, and he's like, "Oh, damn Saint Storia, preserve me!" And he's just laying there with these arrows foaming at the mouth.
Okay, Sigmund runs up.
did we
Okay.
confirm he was a demon?
Yeah, I was going to say, Sarah, could you maybe do that dispel magic thing on him?
What's his actual name?
His name is Bishop Mendacius.
Okay, he was on the shopping list of demons.
Well,
Okay.
we wouldn't actually
Sig-
know for
Sigmund-
sure it was a
Sigmund's
shopping
taken
list
a
of
move action.
demons.
It could just have been a shopping list of dickish people,
We
and
do
we
know
ambushed
2
an
people
old
on
man.
that list for sure were demons, so it's likely, but not...
Yeah, true.
Alright.
No, I do not have dispel magic free today.
Like, Sigmund has a plan here, and we'll be moving forward, but I'm going to give everyone else an opportunity to maybe be doing their thing as well.
I think Dave's still a bit freaked out by attacking an unarmed human, even though he knows that it's probably a demon. It just the way
The
it looks,
appearance.
it's a bit. It freaks him out a bit. It freaks me out a bit as well. It's like, are we doing the right thing? Is this what good guys do? And he's having a bit of like.
Wait a minute, are we the bad guys?
We're the bad guys. He's having a bit
Hans!
of- we're
Are
killing
we
a guy.
Hey, are we the baddies?
Are we the bad?
Hmm.
He's having a bit of a
Bit
crisis.
late
Like,
to be
okay, we're
having these
killing an
moral
unarmed
dilemmas right now.
man of the church in church.
You hear because it's in a chapel, like a cathedral as well, like the grunts of the bishop echo through the entire chamber.
So did
Well,
it look like
with
he
the
had
silence-
damage reduction on those?
I mean, he is bleeding out majorly, so it doesn't honestly look like it.
Hang on, I got this. Aha!
Sense motive. This guy is dying.
Oh, we
Uh-oh.
killed a human. Sigmund,
he
can you
support
question him
demons?
before he dies?
Can we heal
Wait,
him before
question
he dies?
him or question him?
Yes.
Like, I was going to bash his head in, to be honest.
Well, the thing is, if he's not a demon, I have no huge issue with letting him live.
We can't let...
And actually, it feels like kind of a dick move to just shoot an old man in his church. Frankly.
Okay. Sigmund comes here and just starts very loudly, but also completely silently questioning him. So from the outside, you just see him
Can you
going,
roll a will save, please? The DC is 15.
I just want to have this thing where he's like, but it's all completely silent.
Okay. I think that it probably you do that, and only then do you take the moment to concentrate on resisting the spell. Yeah. Well.
I drag him back.
Oh my god. Okay.
Drag him to here.
Yeah. So you drag him over there. I mean, remember, he's not silenced. He resisted the spell.
Okay.
So you can just question him from a distance.
Can I close
No,
the
I
distance?
think I'm gonna
and
drag
try
him
and
here.
heal?
Okay, you drag him there, leaving a big sort of red trail.
Good.
As
Yeah. Put that there. Yeah.
I think this is
Yeah,
going
I'll-
to start
in the
to get to
background.
be too much.
I'm
today.
looking for a right icon. I've got the blood stuff here. Where's a trail? Trail.
Can I spend a slot using Cure Light Wounds, please?
Yes, you definitely can. Here we are. This looks like something that sounds right. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Thyra climbs across 2 rows of pews and starts healing the dude.
Listen up, demon. We can do
Sheepishly.
this all day.
That's actually a good point. If he is a demon lying, then that will hurt him.
Well, Glanval's gonna move forward.
I thought positive energy only hurt undead.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. You do need a feat to hurt demons with.
Yes, of course.
I'm going
I
to
do not have that. It's one of the channel ones, I think.
Yeah. So here's a blood trail.
Cool.
Great.
Okay, so he is just like sputtering and saying, "You!" And Dave, he immediately looks at you. "You, the child on the academy tower.
Wow,
It's
you
you.
took good eyesight. No, that's
Traitors!"
Dave doesn't say that. I accept that.
What?
We're not traitors. We're not from here. I'm not associated with any organization or
Alright,
cause
so you
that
have
you're part
healed
of.
a bit. Get back! Say
Wait.
story, preserve me.
I need answers.
And he tries to
No,
crawl
no,
No,
backwards.
no. I've got him grabbed.
Okay, yeah, you've
Grapple
got him.
In
Okay.
fact, I might
Quick,
give him a
to
little
the flow
gauntleted
chart.
slap. Can I give him a gauntleted slap?
Oh god,
Oh,
he'll
yeah,
die
definitely.
again.
Okay.
How dare you!
Hey,
Look, I mean, I did just bring you back from the dead.
I need no sympathy from you, Outlander. Oh God! Say sorry.
I mean,
Please.
that wasn't really sympathy. That was just kind of, healing.
and we can do more of it, but you need to talk to us.
Look,
I'm not saying. I'm not letting up anything to you.
why?
What's happening in the city? You're not a demon. We thought you were. You seriously support a demon.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised you haven't turned into a demon by now, like all of your friends, you so-called church person. Wait, Thyra, what do you call? Wait, the church
What?
person.
Like a priest?
A
Because
priest.
that's in his
You
name. I think that may just be his first name.
Priest.
Maybe.
Okay.
Bishop.
Yeah.
Bishop.
Anyway, priest, if that is your real name.
Bishop. He said bishop.
Priest. Bishop.
No.
Priest.
Hmm.
If that is your real name.
You're ruining Dave's attempt at diplomacy, as usual.
Okay, please attempt to diplome. Everyone takes a 12-foot
I
step
can
back
see.
so that Dave can diplome.
It's right there in your words. You're all mad.
No,
What
most
are you
of those
trying
are
to do to me? You're going to kill me? Get it over
Well-
with.
Hey,
My life is in Saint Sartorius' hands. Come on then, do it, cowards!
who was your Saint Sartoria chosen by?
Chosen by anyone. Saint Sartorius is divine by her own right. You idolaters.
What's
You
with the six-
worshippers of false gods.
What's with the six
What is it?
fingers?
You,
and the statue-
Midlander. The
What's with
Abadar.
What's with the
and
six
you,
fingers and the
dwarf, is
statue
it
of her in the
Odin?
basement? Have you even been down there?
What basement? The old ruins? That's been walled up for months.
Right.
Years
let's put this-
even.
Okay, let's put this person on Sigmund's shoulder and take him for a little walk.
I mean, okay, sure.
What are you?
that's-
Oh, you're going to take him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
I'm gonna take him.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
gonna
take
show
him
him what we
downstairs.
found down there,
Yeah.
just in case.
So,
Like
yeah.
he doesn't seem
Uh,
like he
yeah.
doesn't seem
Could you all
willfully
roll
ignorant.
me? Yeah, could you all roll me a perception, please?
Okay.
Perception or sense motive?
As the bishop is sort of trying to push himself away from you, but
Oh,
you
no,
have
not again!
like
What's wrong
like
with me today?
your strength easily outclasses that of the bishop.
And hand over his mouth as well.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got healing magic and I've got these gauntlets. We can keep you at or approximately near 1 hit point for as long as we want. Like, just...
Okay. So as you pick up the bishop and you turn around, you hear sort of a as you see the door of the church open,
Oh boy.
and you hear sort of like a chittering almost.
Uh-oh.
Oh
And
boy.
you see a familiar creature.
Oh no! It's that fucking Cambion that got away.
Ah, jeez.
Quick,
Um,
get it! Someone kill it.
Where did I fucking put him? God damn it. Wait, I'm just gonna
Go back
quickly
to the
have to.
Cambion page.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to quickly go back to the
Go resurrect
Cambion
one of the
page
dead
if you-
ones.
Yeah, if you're gonna entertain me for a second. Cambions. There they are. The Cambion Brigade. Oh no, that's on the there it is. So this thing comes inside, and it sort of hunches and it makes this like that laughing noise that you've heard before. And instead of coming towards you, it steps. No. It steps aside, and it makes sort of a bowing motion. And behind it, you see a second figure coming from.
Oh no, it's gonna be one of the other fuckers, isn't it?
Coming
One of the
from
actual
through the
demon
door.
fuckers.
And you
Demon
hear
fuckers.
like a deep voice
Fuckers
saying,
that are demons.
Well. It seems you're blasphemous indeed, outlaw. And you see General Bartholomew's Jado enter the church.
We're good. Well, we could do with you next.
Fuck you.
And funnily enough, he's actually not that tall. He's like 5'5"
What was?
for a human.
Because I'm right next to him. What was the bishop's reaction when he saw the Cambion?
I think that you heard his voice sort of go. You see?
What?
And he seems ecstatic.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's just dumb.
All right, my
Maybe
bad.
he's just stupid, says Dave. I think he's just stupid.
Thyra!
You see ducks.
Pate!
What?
Thyra, Pate! Should I
What?
just snap this guy's neck now? Like,
No, really don't kill him.
Oh.
Well,
And
it's
Pate-
really
hear that,
hard to
Bishop
convince
Priest?
him.
I don't know. I'm pretty for killing him at this point.
Well, no, he's not the demon. It's that guy.
Yeah, but
Well,
he's in
but he
league with the
certainly
demons.
doesn't seem to be much of a saint, does he?
Well, I mean, I don't think that's what bishops are supposed to be.
We don't kill non-humans. This is not on.
Also, he's just like a random old man. You can't kill someone because they're a dick.
And he's stupid.
You let them
You
live
can't
in
kill
spite
people
that.
for being stupid. Otherwise, we have to kill everyone, including Sigmund.
So you can see the Cambion sort of quickly chittering up the staircase.
Okay, bye.
Well, no, I'm holding this man up in a threatening type man with the mace of spades. Like, hold up.
Excuse me, General.
We have a hostage.
Oh.
So it seems. Wow.
If you had to evaluate on a scale of 1 to 10 how valuable this man would be as a hostage, what would you say? Ballpark.
Well, I'd say wholeheartedly better than taking any one of the rest of you hostage. So there you go.
Yeah.
Hostage tactics, eh? Wow. I suppose I shouldn't expect much better. You! And he points at you, Sigmund, with a big finger. Your armor tells me you're a soldier. Is this the kind of tactics that the military of Midland gets up to?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty sketchy, to be honest. Most organized militaries get like that after a certain kind of per capita influx of cash. It's really an indictment of modern society, really.
Well, are you alright?
Sigmund?
He just kind of gets a faraway look in his eyes, thinking about the horrible things that happened to him when he was a mercenary and such.
Okay.
He's still a mercenary. I had to break it to you.
Jado,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Jado
Slightly more ethical.
looks at the bishop and looks at you, Sigmund, and he says, I see. Well, if that's the state of your lands, then I have no regrets over this. And you see his face crack.
We've already
And
seen this. We're not scared.
he transforms.
I'm a little scared, actually, Dave. I have to be honest. Like, you
You've
weren't close to
already
that last
done
one.
this before. You don't need to do the cinematics.
Actually, no, you do, because it looks dope.
No,
Mom,
I just
please
skipped them after the
continue.
first time. It's 40 seconds of my life that I need.
Why doesn't the save point happen after the cinematics? That's what I want to know, says Thyra.
Like, look, Thyra, don't want this guy to like come up at the last second and like stab one of us in the back. Like we should
Look,
tie him
I
up or
get
something.
I get you, but like as someone who is like a devoted person, it does make me uncomfortable.
We can knock him
I
out.
admit that it does.
That's not bad.
Well,
right?
let's tie him to this chair while this fan transformation sequence is happening. Just
Yeah,
quickly
okay.
get him-
We all
tie him
take
to this
45 seconds to
Honestly,
tie this man
like,
to a chair.
you've actually got a surprising amount of time because you can see that, contrary to Migelas, who was like pretty instant, this guy like takes a couple of moments
To
as
Hulk out.
you see a skeleton, like you see his human form just explode, and
Ew.
you see this mass of molten metal form a skeleton, which is pretty fucking big. Like this guy in his demon form looked smaller when you were up there.
Man, things
And-
look smaller when they're further away, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's tie
And-
this man to this chair.
Quickly.
You
can't move
see
him. Move him,
you see skin and like muscle and stuff grow over the skeleton, and you see a few you can see flaming portals open, which all sort of send out these pieces of an armor set that is being like welded onto him.
He's like demonic Iron Manning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's demonic Iron Manning.
Glenn, do you want to like
Marshmallows.
shoot a couple of things in there whilst he's transforming, like that one? Good
I think
episode
it's
of
a
Avatar?
magical girl thing where like the big old energy sphere is probably like doing more energy than the whole country of Japan.
I think that's what happened in
Hmm.
Witch. Any of you ever watched that? Probably not.
And
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah.
Golly. It was my
I've seen
sister's
a lot.
most favourite thing when she
Yes.
was about 5.
My, what a big boy.
yeah, and here is the art for him. And check layer. And I think that this explosion has like destroyed this layer of the pews a bit.
Did he just get bigger?
Yeah.
No, like that is his size.
Ugh.
It's fine, it's a big target. Sorry. Look at it
Yeah.
that way.
Okay, so real important, which chair have we tied the elderly man to?
I thought it was going to be this
Yeah.
one.
Okay,
Yeah, this one.
then I'll put him over there.
Can you give him a status marker to indicate?
Yes, I
tied to
will.
a chair?
Tied to a chair. Man, why don't they just have that?
I
as a
will
marker?
put a net on him.
Okay,
there we
sure.
are. No,
Is
wait.
there not a chair emoji? What about the
There we are.
snail? That would be acceptable.
There, now he's got a.
No, that makes more
The
sense.
net's on him.
Unfortunately.
There we are.
Okay,
And I guess this is
So, yeah.
probably a good point to end, since it is
and this is indeed where we're going to end. And the
go.
last thing that I'm going to give you is Barthas,
The handout.
the Demons
We had him.
soundtrack.
Oh, cool.
It's some smooth jazz. He's a
Oh,
very
it's
This is
not,
smooth.
it's for once
That's-
it's not a soundtrack from Darkest Dungeon.
Indeed.
Called out.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's good combat music.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not.
I know.
It kind of looks like him, the album
yeah.
cover.
And that is where we are going to end this session.
Right. So
Right,
we say
thank
goodbye
you.
to the
Hold up,
stream.
Quack, 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 quack.
Bye, stream.
Bye bye stream. Thank you for
Bye,
coming.
stream.
Bye, hellhounds.